probably two subgenres to rhetoric. There's oratory speeches, which are a very formal argument based on the philosophy of logic and reasoning. So you would expect this maybe if you were at a philosophy lecture. They're usually very academic sounding and use very vaulted language, so you might find a lot of jargon that you don't understand when listening to an oratory lecture. Such a speech is usually driving fairly hard towards making a point or possibly even proving it for the first time. Conversational speeches are much more likely what you're going to come across. So they use allegory, anecdotes, and patterns of speech to persuade rather than to prove. So even the speeches that you might get on formal topics, which use statistics, tend to be more conversational in their tone than orations. And they're usually easier to listen to as well. So pretty much all of the speeches that would be set by the Board of Studies are probably going to come under this conversational speech idea, although they may borrow from the tradition of oratory. So now that we've talked about all those genres, how are you going to sit down and study it? So the first thing to do is to do more research. There's lots of possible genres. You have to just go out there and get as much information as you can because it's only the tip of the iceberg. Make a list of the ways in which your text fits the conventions of each possible genre. And then make a list of the ways in which your text does not fit those conventions. So how are you going to justify saying that your text is one thing or the other? You also want to think very carefully about the genre-related terminology that you're going to use in your essay. So that has to go in your introduction and may also go into your essay paragraphs if it's relevant. That's the end of this lesson.